This bit of the show is called The Morning Monologue, and the clue that really is in the title. This is usually just one person on their own, and that person is me. I'm going to shake things up a bit today because I'm going to preface my little rant with a clip from the film Dude, Where's My Car? Now, I realise that's a pretty lowbrow film from which to draw inspiration, but stick with me. I have a story to tell. I know precisely where we're going, but I need to show you the clip of the film, and then the rest of what I've got to say hopefully will make complete sense.
Yeah, I'd like to place an order.
What you like?
Yeah, I'd like 3 orders of garlic chicken.
And then?
And then 3 orders of white rice.
And then?
And then... Oh, hey, you guys want soup? Sure. Yeah, 3 orders of wonton soup.
And then?
Oh, some fortune cookies, too.
And then?
Gosh, I think that's about it.
And then?
No, that's it.
And then?
No, and then. That's all I want.
And then?
then nothing else because I'm done ordering, okay?
And then?
And then you can put it in a brown paper bag and come put it in my hand because I'm ready to eat.
And then?
I refuse to play your Chinese food mind games.
And then?
No, and then.
Right. Keep that phrase in mind, will you? And then. I was reminded of that scene not once but twice last week. In the first instance, I was reading an article in Construction Inquirer in which they reported that 39 solid wall insulation specialists had been banned by the government from installing new insulation in people's homes because of poor quality work. So going back to that movie quote, and then? Those 39 companies have been banned from the government's Energy Company Obligation 4 and Great British Insulation schemes. And admittedly, the companies responsible for the substandard work will be forced to make good the work at no additional cost to households. But what then? They'll still be allowed to work on non-government work. Presumably, if they're a member of a trade association, their membership won't be impacted. Although it's unlikely since the substandard work was spread across almost 40 firms, if it transpired that the poor quality work was down to individual workers, they will not be stripped of whatever competence card they hold either. You might say that the negative press surrounding their government ban might impact their ability to win work in the future. Yet that most certainly didn't happen to the companies caught up in the Competition and Markets Authority investigation into demolition collusion and bid rigging. All but one of those companies has thrived since their involvement was revealed. So in the case of these 39 companies, there is no and then. There's a government ban and there's no more. Which brings me to the second occasion that Dude, Where's My Car played in my head. On Wednesday last, a building in Glasgow collapsed whilst it was under demolition. Now, it's too early for me to describe this as a botched demolition. I'll leave that to the experts. However, any demolition that partially buries 2 vehicles and spills debris into the road is hardly a paragon of demolition excellence. Now, I'm led to believe that the site in question was visited by an inspector from the Health and Safety Executive the day after the unplanned and uncontrolled collapse. Since no one was hurt, it will likely result in little more than a slap on the wrist. And then? The company in question should be required to reassess their risk assessment and method statements, ideally with an independent third-party expert to ensure that this doesn't happen again. And then? They should be required to submit their findings of any internal and external investigation to the entire demolition community. And then? The person or persons that gave the green light to a methodology that resulted in an uncontrolled collapse should be required to sit some kind of refresher course. And then, if it transpires that the operator cut corners or went against the stated wishes of those in charge, then he too should be required to undergo more training. And then, there is no and then. There absolutely is no and then. Demolition in the UK is not licensed. Even if the contractor is found to have breached every single safety protocol possible, highly unlikely, their standing as a demolition contractor remains unaffected. If the operator was at fault, he won't have his CCDO, CSCS or CPCS card revoked, neither will those cards display penalty points for any transgression. The company in question is today a member of the National Federation of Demolition Contractors. They'll be a member of the NFDC tomorrow. Given that the NFDC failed to take sanctions against its member companies amidst the CMA debacle, and given that demolition companies that have suffered site fatalities have remained firmly in the bosom of the NFDC, they will likely remain a member for months and years to come. So, in both instances, those responsible for sketchy insulation work and those responsible for what appears to be questionable demolition work will receive an initial punishment. There is no and then. And it's that lack of and then that ensures construction industry standards never, ever improve.